on the win.
Thank you.
Injuries with Reisner and Glasgow and Hamler.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of details on any of them at this point. Obviously, they're going to get imaged here as soon as they can. And, we should know more as the week goes on.
Yeah, overall, 3-0 now. What have you learned about your team during these 3 weeks?
I think we got a good team. We got guys that are together. When I say got a good team, I mean the atmosphere, the belief in each and every one of us has in everybody. I just think we got a resilient group and a group that likes playing with each other. And we've been pretty damn solid for 3 weeks, and both offensively and defensively. Today we had to work for everything offensively. They're a good defense. They got a lot of good players over there. And they made it hard on us offensively, but we were able to get enough drives going, make enough plays to put some points on the board.
Vic, first shutout, I think, since 2019. What impressed you about the defense's performance today?
We just played good football, which is, what we like to do. We're where we're supposed to be, and we're there doing it the right way. And we got 11 guys playing together, and when we do, and then you have to make some great individual plays along the way. When he scrambled out and threw it down there inside the 10, I forget who broke it up for us. Was it Callahan? He scrambled to the defense's right, to his left, threw a long ball down there right before they attempted their long field goal. That was a great play, and you're going to have great individual plays.
Coach, what did you see as the key to getting the sacks, 5 sacks, 4 different players, and also 2 takeaways? I mean, to be special defensively, that's kind of the secret sauce. What did you see today?
Yeah, I mean, they ended up throwing it a bunch. How many times? 30. Well, he dropped back 36 times, and out of, if my math is right here, about 49 plays. So, that's a heavy pass percentage, and the score dictated some of that, and we were playing the run good enough that dictated that too. So, but yeah, we always like to see good rush,
Vic, what's your level of concern about maybe the lack of touchdowns as you were getting down there, obviously in scoring range?
Yeah, it is concerning. It's frustrating. It pisses you off when it happens, but we've been much better in the red zone this year overall. Obviously, today we had to settle for the field goal the one time, and we fumbled one time. But I feel a lot better about our red zone offense.
Hey, Vic, with KJ Hamler going down, Deontay Spencer played more. What did you think of him just out there, and is that something you might look at going forward, more of Deontay?
Yeah, he's going to have to contribute. If I gave you a real answer to that, I'd be lying because I wasn't watching him. But he's going to have to become part of the rotation with the receivers.
Last week and the week before, defense allowed a drive kind of at the beginning of the game. How pleased were you that they kind of shut it down from the very beginning, and then to have the offense get off to a fast start as well?
The first 2 weeks that happened?
Against Jacksonville, and then they had the long pass in week 1 to the Giants.
Did they score then?
They did not.
Oh, okay.
But how pleased were you that they were able to get off the field?
Bottom line guy, okay? 1 out of 3. You don't have a tendency yet. Okay.
Offensively, how pleased were you that they were?
Yeah, it was much better. The first 2 games, it took us a while to put the points on the board. It was good to get a score early, and then we tacked on a field goal, obviously, to make it 10-0, and it's always good. I mean, it doesn't change the total complexion of the game, but gives you a different feel as a coach when you're calling it.
Vic, what did you think about the running game today? And then did you say anything to Javonte after that fumble?
No. I didn't say anything to him. He knows. But teams are blitzing our run game, okay, which is why we've had success in the passing game. Teddy was, again, 19 of 25, for 235 yards, if this is correct, and over 104 ratings. So, they're going to major extremes to play our run game, these first 3 opponents.
Vic, what did you like most about Tim Patrick's day today?
Tim, I think Tim's a really good receiver. I've always have. And he caught the 50-50 balls and caught the balls inside the numbers and ran with them. Tim's a damn good NFL receiver.
Vic, what would you say to folks who are like, hey, you're 3-0, but the 3 wins have come against teams that are combined 0 for 9. What would your message be to those folks?
Nothing. That's just the schedule. They're right. That's a fact, what you just said. But, that's the way it is in the NFL. You eventually will play everybody, and you have to take care of business when you don't. I mean, you can look at Tampa Bay's record last year, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
2 years ago, you came in and you held Vaughn to a very high standard. Last year, he got hurt. What's impressed you the most about him through?
Yeah, I think he's picked up where I thought he would have been last year. It was very, very disappointing on a lot of fronts, not just that he couldn't play for us last year, but I really felt he was primed to have a hell of a season last year. And about the only lucky thing with his injury is that it was one that once it's healed, it's healed. It needed 5 months, so it took him off the whole season, but he doesn't have lingering effects from it. And he's focused, and he knows that I see a more mature player and a guy that is really wanting to play football and enjoying it.
Vic, last week you told us after the win how excited you were to get home and the anticipation of the energy and everything that you look forward to. Did it live up to the expectation?
It did. The Broncos fans are, probably the best fans in the NFL. I did happen because there was a lull in the action when they posted that there was 3,900 no-shows and the people booed. Well, maybe we'll get those 3,900 in here next Sunday. And but the fans here are great. This stadium's great. It was always, I didn't come here much as a visitor because I was in the bulk of my years were in the NFC. But I always thought this was one of the top stadiums in the league. It's high, it's right on the action, and I think it's a great football stadium with a great atmosphere, and our fans make it that way.
Vic, you're 3-0. How's that feel?
Well, it feels good. But the only focus now is trying to get to 4-0. And that's just the way life is in the NFL. I enjoy that we've won these 3 games, but, by the time I get home tonight, I'm going to start working on the Ravens.
Final 2, Eric and then Ryan.
Where do you see, without watching the film, the areas where you need to maybe improve the most going into next week?
We're going to have to figure out a way to run the ball against these loaded boxes, or we just have to keep throwing it, That would be the one thing. These first 3 teams definitely didn't want us to get started running the ball. And all 3 of them had various degrees of success doing that. We had a lot of 1s and 0s in there. And, they're blitzing DBs designed for the run, not to get pass rush on the quarterback. And, we're going to have to figure that out a little bit. And there's always little things you got to get better at.
Last one, Ryan.
Vic, was it a little cleaner game penalty-wise for you?
It seemed to be. Did we have one on defense? I don't remember one. We had a couple. We had the unsportsmanlike, from on Dalton. He swore to me he didn't do anything, but I've harped on this to the players since training camp started that they were going to be calling this super closely, and they have been. The league has told the officials to do that, so you have to be smarter about it.
Thank you very much.
Okay.